All right, everyone. Okay. Hello, CPA. Ituloy natin, no, yung discussion natin on liquidation value method. Okay? So for liquidation value method class, meron tayong tatlong, no, mahalagang concepts and subtopics for this, no? So meron tayong mga methods such as asset adjusted value method, discounted cash flow method, and liquidation value per share. Of course, yung computation ng liquidation value per share. No? Lahat yan, each one of the three, okay, would be illustrated per problem. O, class, unahin natin asset adjusted value method. In asset adjusted value method, ina-adjust natin yung assets to arrive at the net realizable value to which we are expecting it, no, during liquidation process. Ibig sabihin, no, yung mga valuation estimate natin, ina-adjust natin sa asset, and that would be the basis, no, of the asset amount or the asset value during liquidation. O ang key dito, class, susundan mo lang naman, no, yung sinabi ng problem. All right. O sige. So the financial records of Anti Company for 2024 are shown below. So meron tayo dito, class, total assets of 72 million composed of the following breakdown, no? So binigay naman ng problem kung magkano dyan yung amount, no, ng bawat asset. Total liabilities, 62 million. Okay, nakahati din yan between trade and other payables and non-current liabilities. Shareholders equity, no? 10 million, 100 shares at 100 peso par, okay? Total liabilities and equity, alam natin yan, class, equal yan, okay? Proving to the accounting equation, okay? Sabi natin, valuation records show that the total assets shall be 100 million and will be allocated evenly among the assets. Ibig sabihin, class, no, yung total asset natin would be 100 million. 100 million yung asset adjusted value. Kasi yan yung total adjustments na asset, di ba? 100 million. Dating 72 million, class, no, from the breakdown, magiging 100 million yan or magiging 100 million siya. Okay. So therefore, may increase, no, sa valuation natin. Okay. That's the case, kunin na natin, no, yung total adjusted assets. Total adjusted assets. Okay. 100 million. O class, no? In other references, pwede ang mangyari dyan, magbigay ng estimate for each type of asset. Susundan mo lang yon. Say for example, yung cash nag-increase ng 10% o di increase mo ng 10% yung cash and then i-total mo. Ang good thing dito, class, is that merong, no, total value na yung assets na adjusted na. May value na yung adjusted assets natin. Okay? Kaya mas madali, no? Yung mga ganitong approaches. Pero class, there's a possibility na nakabigay siya on a per account level. Okay. Next. After ng class, no, i-deduct natin liabilities to be settled. Liabilities to be settled. Bakit, sir, to be settled? Again, pag ang liability na settle na, nabayaran na, o it doesn't make sense na kasama pa yan sa liquidation. Diba? Ang ina-account na lang natin dito, class, yung hindi kasama sa liquidation. No? Or hindi na bayaran rather. Hindi na bayaran para yun ang sasama sa liquidation. Ano ba ang sabi? Current liabilities amounting to 10 million was settled during the year. So current liabilities, that's trade and other payables, na settle daw dyan, no? 10 million. Therefore, class, no? Ang ating trade and other payables, no? 40 million, lagay ko dito sa baba, dito trade and other payables, 40 million. Trade and other payables. Yung 40 million natin, class, no, that's 40 million less 10 million. So magiging 30 million na lang. Tama, no? Delete ko to para meron tayong space. So, trade and other payables, 30 million. I-deduct natin ito, class. And then we also have non-current liabilities. Again, liabilities to be settled. Yung non-current liab, hindi pa yan na-settle. So, kasama yan sa liquidation. No? Again, ang inalis lang natin dito, class, yung na-settle. Non-current liabilities na magkano? 22 million. Okay. Lalabas dito, class, no, would be the liquidation value. Lalabas yung ating liquidation value. Ibig sabihin, ito na lang yung value ng assets at liquidation. 'Di ba? Asset, no? Ito yung total asset natin, ipambayad natin ng liability. Okay, kung ano yung may iwan, yan ang liquidation value. No, yan na lang ang halaga ng company at the time of liquidation. Okay? So kunin natin 100 million less 30 less 22, answer 48 million. From 48 million plus, i-divide natin yung outstanding shares, outstanding number of shares. Okay. Silipin natin, ilang shares ba meron? 100,000, sir. Meron bang retirement? Meron bang reissuance? No? Meron bang purchase of treasury shares? Sir, wala naman eh. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng 100,000 na yan class ay ano? Lahat ng 100,000 ay outstanding. O divided by number of outstanding shares. Okay? Divided by the number of outstanding shares na magkano class? 100,000. Therefore, liquidation value per share natin class ay magiging 48 million divided by 100,000, 480. Therefore class, each share makakatanggap ng 480 pesos. Okay? At the time of liquidation. So pag nag-liquidate, each shareholder makakatanggap ng 480 pesos as its liquidation value per share. Okay? Maliwanag yun ha. Again class, maraming variation dito ng iba't ibang adjustment sa asset. Susundan mo lang yung kwento. Iingatan mo lang talaga yung mga assumption. Kasi nga, there is no perfect valuation procedure, There is no perfect valuation process, Kasi nga valuation is heavy on estimate. So may mga chances talaga na iba yung magiging result ng liquidation as compared with other methods. Okay? Clear tayo, asset adjusted value method, i-adjust ang asset, then deduct the liabilities para maiwan na lang liquidation value. The liquidation value would be the value of the company at the time of liquidation, of course, after settling the liabilities. And then divide mo lang sa number of outstanding shares, that would be your liquidation value per share. Okay? Ano ang class pwedeng tanungin? Eto. Pwede kang tanungin ng liquidation value, pwede ka rin tanungin ng liquidation value per share. Okay? Sige. Next, problem 2 tayo. Another variation ng liquidation method would be discounted cash flows. Sa discounted cash flow method class, ang gagawin natin, 2 types of cash flows yung kailangan natin makonsider. First type would be ito. Silipin mo sa solution guide natin. Tawagin natin to as number 1. So again, 2 types. 2 types of cash flows ang ating i-consider. Una class, number 1 would be the present value of future cash flows during the time of the remaining years of operations. Or class, tatawagin natin to na operating cash flows. We have the operating cash flows and yung number 2, etong tatlo. Okay? Proper, tawagin natin ito na probable liquidation cash flow. Okay? Probable liquidation cash flow. Kaya tinawag na probable liquidation cash flow, okay? This would be the types of cash flows, okay, that an entity would incur at the time of liquidation. Kaya dalawang major cash flow yan. Present value of future cash flows, computed, and present value of probable liquidation cash flows. Sir, ano ba yung composition ng probable liquidation cash flows? Una, present value of the sale of asset. Remember class sa topic na property, plant, and equipment, di ba? When you recognize a PPE or a property, plant, and equipment, di ba? One of the composition would be estimated dismantling cost, di ba? Or demolition cost. So, i-consider mo siya as part of the cost of the asset because at the end of the life of the PPE, okay, you would have to incur that. O same din dito. At the end of the life of the company, ibebenta natin yung assets niya. So at how much? Magkano? Depende kung magkano siya available maibenta sa market. Second, present value of termination cost and other liabilities. Kailangan mo i-present value yan because in the future, when you terminate a company or a business, 'di ba? Inevitable, hindi maiiwasan na hindi mo ma-incur ang mga termination cost na yan. Talagang mai-incur mo yan. So, i-present value natin, class. And last, of course, no, sabi natin, no, remember your concept on corporate liquidation. Sa corporate liquidation, 'di ba, isa sa mga priority credits, no, would be taxes, no, and licenses, no. Isa yan sa mga unsecured credits with priority, no? Isa yan sa mga una mong sinisettle. So kailangan, class, no, kuhanin mo rin ang present value niyan because it is unavoidable, no, na ma-incur mo yan. Talaga ma-incur mo yan, class. Okay? So wala kang choice. Kaya kailangan mo siyang i-present value, kailangan mo siyang i-consider. O sir, question, paano po ba mag-compute ng present value? O it would be the same as your other accounting subjects, 'di ba? Kapag yung cash flows are even, okay? And periodic, okay? Present value of ordinary annuity of 1. Yung present value ng ordinary annuity of 1, this is always greater than 1. 'Di ba? Pag equal and even yung cash flows at periodic, ibig sabihin, fix yung period. Say for example, makakatanggap ka ng ganitong cash, no? Or makaka-incur ka ng ganitong liability taon-taon, no? At this amount. Oh, that is even and periodic. Periodic, ibig sabihin, paulit-ulit, recurring. Ang gagamitin natin, class, present value of ordinary annuity of 1. Ito yung greater than 1 na factor. Pero class, if the cash flows are lump sum or kung hindi lump sum, no, uneven and periodic, no? Present value of 1. Present value of 1. Ito naman, class, yung less than 1. O sana ha, no? Sana clear ito sa iyo, no? Sa intermediate accounting mo. Okay, kapag ang cash flow even, periodic, ibig sabihin, no, fixed period mo siyang natatanggap, present value of ordinary annuity of 1, yan yung factor na greater than 1. Kapag lump sum, no, ibig sabihin, isang bagsakan yung cash flow, uneven, posibleng hindi pantay-pantay, or periodic, no? Periodic nga pero hindi pantay-pantay. Say for example, year 1, 20,000 matatanggap mo. Year 2, 30,000 matatanggap mo. Year 3, 40,000. Present value of 1 ka. Pero kung even yung cash flow, say for example, 100,000 for the next 5 years. Even yung 100,000, periodic, next 5 years, yearly. No, sa loob ng 5 taon, makakatanggap ka. Diba? That is even and periodic. Anong gagawin natin, class? Simple lang ito. Okay? Alamin natin yung mga cash flows. Classify natin later on. Pati yung factor na gagamitin natin, ha? So sana by this time, no, you fully understand kung how does present value work. So ano yung mga cash flows, no? And ano yung tamang factor na gagamitin. Okay? Sige. So, Aya company is estimated to be terminated after 5 years. So, ibig sabihin, class, kung mata-terminate yung company after 5 years, may 5 taon na lang yan para mabuhay. It only has 5 years, no, para mag-operate. For the rest of its life, it is projected that it will earn 500,000 evenly each year. Yun na, may cash flow na tayo. Gibayin ko yung kulay, Okay. Sabi niya dito, class, 500,000 evenly each year. Evenly each year. Ibig sabihin, even yung cash flow, pantay-pantay, each year, periodic, taon-taon. Class, ito na yung unang type ng cash flow. Future cash flows during the remaining years of operation or during the remaining life of operation. Di 500,000 tayo dito, class, times the present value factor. Teka, silipin natin. Ano ba yung discount rate? 'Di ba? Or in other references, we call it as the hurdle rate. Sa ibang references, we call this as the cut-off rate. Sa ibang references, is the minimum cost of return. It's the minimum required rate of return. 'Di ba? It's the minimum hurdle rate, no? It's the minimum yield rate, no? Sa iba't ibang references. This time, no, based on my AICPA reference, ang ginamit ko, cost of money. no? Same lang yan with your cost of capital, with your hurdle rate, with your discount rate, no? Cut-off rate, with your standard rate. Okay, same lang yan. Sir, ano yung cost of money? Bakit tinawag na cost of money yan? Class kasi ganito, no? Remember, no? Sa cost of capital mo, that is your required rate of return na dapat ma-earn ng investment mo. 'Di ba? Dapat mag-equal siya sa cost of capital or higit pa para kumita ka. Bakit siya tinawag na cost of money, no, in other references? Kasi class, no, kung hindi ka nag-operate for the next 5 years, no, sana yung cost ng operation mo hindi mo ginamit na pampuhunan sa negosyo. Dapat sana pinang-invest mo na lang 'yan. Kaya tinawag na cost of money kasi it costed you money for foregoing the interest income kung sana ininvest mo na lang 'yan kaysa pinang-operate mo sa negosyo. Klaro, kaya tinawag na cost of money, yan yung halaga ng pera na nawala dahil nagnegosyo ka imbes na ininvest mo. That's another term doon sa mga terms na we have previously discussed, no, on cost of capital. Okay? So 12% yung cost of capital or the discount rate natin. Alam mo na to. Even, periodic. Therefore, even and periodic, cash flow is greater than 1. Okay. So alam mo na kung paano mag-compute, no, ng present value factor, no, using the basic calculator, no. So 12%, so input on your calculators, no, sabayan mo ako, 1.12 and then class, dalawang division sign and then equal sign, no. Pag na-press mo na yung equal, no, bilangin mo, no, kung ilan yung number of years or periods, no, kasama na yung unang equal mo. So kung nag-press ka rin ng equal, 1 na yon. Ilang periods ba, sir? 5 years. Kasi 5 years mong ma-earn to or 5 years tong 5 years mo tong makukuha. So 1 na yon. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So dapat class lalabas sa'yo 0.5674 rounded to the first 4 decimals, no? So pag nakuha mo na yung 5674, 'di ba? Tawag dito, 1 minus or yung present value factor minusan mo ng 1, 'di ba? 1.12, dalawang division sign, 5 equals, okay? Minus 1, so lalabas, no, yung reciprocal, and then you divide it by, no, the cost of money of 12%. No, lalabas na factor 3. No, 6048, tama, no? 6048. O multiply mo na dito para nakaabang na yung cash flows. 3.6048 times 500,000 o lalabas na dyan class 1,802,400. Okay? Sige. Next. Tuloy natin ang pagbabasa. At the end of Aya's life, its asset can be sold for 50 million. Uy, no, pag na-terminate na yung company, pwede siyang mabenta at 50 million. Kailan mo ibebenta yung kumpanya? After 5 years. That's the present value of sale of the assets. 50 million. Kaso class, no, kailan mo siya ma-realize? At the end of the life, after 5 years pa. Therefore, no, yung cash flow niyan, lump sum, no? Uneven or periodic lump sum, no? Again, lump sum, periodic. Ibig sabihin, no, by the time na dumating yung period na nagsara na, dun mo lang siya matatanggap. Okay, that's the case, lump sum o present value of 1 tayo pagdating sa cash flow. Less than 1 yung factor. Sir, paano nako-compute yung less than 1 na factor? O di ganun ulit na procedure, no? Pero hindi mo na sa i-reciprocate, no? So 1.12, dalawang divide, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Diba? So yung kanina, no, na bago mo i-reciprocate, yun yung present value factor niya. 0.5674 rounded sa 4 decimal places. Kung multiply natin, 5674 times 50 million. O lalabas class, 28,370,000. That's the present value of the sale of the asset. Next, termination cost and other liabilities. Termination cost and other liabilities, silipin natin. Tuloy natin yung kwento. it is estimated that Aya, okay, will incur 5 million for termination cost. Oh, no, pag nag-liquidate ang company, again, it is inevitable, hindi maiiwasan na magkakaroon ng termination cost. So, kailan mo yun mai-incur? At the end of the life of the company, sa year 5 pa. O, edi, ano na naman yan? Lump sum. O, di 5 million times. O, yun ulit, di ba? Present value factor, no, na 0.5674. Kasi same concept sa klase, no? Dito, 12% at 5 years lump sum, o di less than 1, present value of 1. Ganun din dito. Kasi yung 5 million, may incur mo yan after 5 years. So, 12%. No? Present value of 1 at 5 years. O, kumpitin natin yung amount. 5 million times 0.5674. Lalabas, 2837. Okay? Next. Taxes and other charges. Taxes and other charges related to liquidation amounts to 3 million. Which is expected to be settled at liquidation. Yung taxes and charges, may incur mo na naman yan, no, sa liquidation process or at the end, no, of the liquidation process. Yan ang mangyayari, 3 million. Diba? Lump sum lang yan, isang bagsakan lang yan. Edi 0.5674 ulit. Diba? Kasi 12% at 5 years. No? Lump sum. Kumpitin natin. 3 million times 0.5674. Di 1,702,200. Okay? Ayusin natin to. Okay? 1,702,200. Class, sum mo lang. No? This would be the value of Aya Company. So, tatanungin ka, magkano yung value ng Aya Company? Answer, no? 34 million, okay? 711,600. Ibig sabihin, that is the value of Aya Company right now. No? At the end of the life, no? But at the end of the life, okay? Yan yung makukuha mo. Pero teka lang, sir, bakit ganon? Bakit mo, sir, no, inad lahat? Tama po ba na i-add mo lahat? Well, no, yung 34,711,600, yan yung lahat ng cash flows, no, na makukuha natin. What we have to do, no, is to identify kung inflow ba to or outflow para makuha natin yung total value ni Aya considering the movement ng cash flows. Kaya sabi natin kanina, 34,711,600. Yan yung value na papasok for Aya Company. However, may iba dyan, outflow. Okay. So, alamin natin. Di ba? So, ito, present value future cash flows during the remaining years, of course, inflow yan. Kasi matatanggap mo yan from the sale, no? No sa operation mo. Palitan ko ng kulay. Next, present value of the sale of asset. Nagbenta ka ng asset. Definitely, that's an inflow. Present value of termination cost. 2,837,000. Termination cost, binabayaran yan and other liabilities. Outflow yan, class. Na-gets yung concept, no? Inalam muna natin, class, lahat ng cash flows na pumasok. And ngayon, inaalam natin kung ano yung impact niya on Aya Company. May iba inflow, may iba outflow. Next, taxes and other charges, binabayaran natin yan, definitely outflow yan. So therefore, pag kinuha natin yung effect, okay, inet natin yung yung inflows and outflows. So inflow plus inflow, then deduct natin class yung outflow, deduct natin yung outflow. Answer, 25,633,200. Nakita? So, lahat ng cash flows kanina, 34 million, no? Pero we have to bear in mind, no, na i-consider natin yan, no? I-consider natin yan, no, in determining, no, kung magkano, no, yung ating real value, no? Dapat alam mo yung movement ng cash flows. No, kuha natin yung class, baka mamaya add ka lang ng add. Okay? Huwag kang add ng add. Okay? So, alamin mo muna, no, yung type ng cash flow and then check the impact. Alright? Sige. Last problem natin, class. Liquidation value per share. O, napakadali lang nito, no? Remember class, no, yung liquidation value per share natin, no? Kinukuha natin 'yan from the proceeds. Okay? Kung hindi sa ganung paraan, 'di ba? Kanina yung liquidation value per share, nakuha natin liquidation value under asset adjusted value method divided by the number of shares, lalabas liquidation value per share. Okay? Another way to compute liquidation value per share, no, is through realization. No, i-track mo, no, yung nangyari doon sa pera. O how do we do that? O magkano yung proceeds muna on the sale of assets? Proceeds on the sale of assets. O, ano ang sabi? So meron tayong financial records of Uncle Company. So same, no, total asset binigay 72 million, liab 62, shareholders equity 10 million, so liabilities and equity 72 million, banggayan, no, between total assets and liabilities and equity, no, banggayan. Okay. So alamin natin class magkano yung proceeds on the sale of assets. Okay, tignan mo yung sinabi ng problem. Valuation records show that non-cash assets can be sold for 85% of their book values. 85% of their book values. O silipin natin, ano ba yung book values? At sino yung non-cash asset? Cash kasama? Definitely hindi. Receivables kasama? Yes, sir. Inventories? Yes, sir, kasama. PPE or net amount ng PPE? Yes, sir, kasama. And intangible assets? Yes, sir, kasama. Therefore, ang non-cash asset natin, class, 62 million. Again, wag mong isama yung cash. Kasi ano ba sabi dito? Non-cash assets. Class, hindi natin binibenta ang cash. Pag may nagbenta ng cash, nako, medyo nakakaloka. Okay? So proceed ng sale of non-cash asset natin class 62 million times ilang percent ba siya mabebenta? 85%. O sundan mo lang yung kwento. No, kasi nga valuation is an estimate. 62 million times 85% o lalabas 52 million 700,000. O pag nakuha mo na yung proceeds, no, ibig sabihin ito yung pinagbentahan, no? Through realization. Next class, i-deduct natin, no, yung liabilities paid. O, deduct or less, no, liabilities paid. Okay, meron ba? Silipin natin. 50% of the liabilities shall be settled. Uy, 50% of the liabilities. Ibig sabihin, total liabilities. Hindi niya naman sinabing current liability. Hindi niya sinabing non-current liability. Ibig sabihin, sinabi niya lang liabilities, edi total liabilities yun, class. Clear yun, 50% of the liabilities, no, shall be settled. O kung ganun, o di 50% ng liabilities, magkano ba yung liabilities natin? 62 million, ayun, no? 62 million divided by 2 or pwede naman times 50%. Diba? Kung saan ka mas komportable. So 62 million on your calculators times 50%, 31 million. Oh, nakabawas yan class kasi binayaran mo yan. Liabilities paid. Ano pa ang pwedeng bayaran? Taxes, liquidation expenses, licenses. O meron ba tayo? Yes, 200,000 liquidation expenses shall be paid. Oh, 200,000 liquidation expenses. Okay? 200,000. Okay. Para mag-arrive ka class sa liquidation value. Okay? Liquidation value. Sir, teka, parang medyo familiar yung naging approach. Parang halos same lang, sir, sa asset-adjusted method. Well, class, the answer is a resounding yes. Kung titignan mo dito, sa asset-adjusted value method, no, in-adjust lang natin yung assets. Para mo rin yung binenta. And then, you deduct the liabilities settled. Ang kinaibahan lang, class, no, sa example natin on asset-adjusted value, walang liquidation expense. Pero tanungin kita, no, kung meron bang liquidation expense or taxes and other charges sa asset-adjusted value method, dapat pa rin ba natin itong ibawas, i-deduct to arrive at liquidation value? Well, class, the answer is yes. Tanda mo yan yung asset adjusted value method, no? Yung kino-compute natin yung liquidation value per share, there is another alternative of computing that. At eto yun. Proceeds ng sale, bawas mo liabilities paid, bawas mo liquidation expenses. Related sila. Itong problem 1, problem 3. Magkaiba lang sila class ng variation. Dito sa problem 1, pinag-adjust ka ng asset. Sa problem 3, anong binigay? Binigay yung pinagbentahan ng asset. Kasi yung proceeds yung gagamitin mo, di ba? Ganun naman talaga. The proceeds on the sale of cash of non-cash asset, yan ang gagamitin mong pambayad ng liab and pan-distribute no, sa mga shareholders mo upon liquidation. Okay? O less natin class liquidation expenses, liquidation value natin, okay? 21.5 million. And then, we divide by the number of outstanding shares. Ilan yung outstanding shares? 100,000. Wala namang nag-retire, wala namang preference, walang treasury. So as is yung 100,000. O therefore, liquidation value per share is coming at, okay? So 21,500,000 divided by 100,000 o di 215. Each shareholder will receive 215 per share. Okay? Maliwanag yon. O, di ba? Iba-iba yung variation natin class no in computing. No, liquidation value per share, no, using discounted cash flow methods. But the thing is, kahit magkakaiba yan ang naging approach, alam mo yung concept. No, with this methodologies, with these approaches, inaalam natin magkano ang value ng company at the time of liquidation, magkano ang matatanggap no ng bawat shareholder at the time of the liquidation. All right? Sige. That's it, no, CPA. Diyan magtatapos no yung lecture natin on liquidation value method or liquidation method. And I hope that you continue to have that competence, passion, and accountability in you in reaching your CPA dreams. All right, thank you for listening and joining me in this lecture. See you on our next topics. All right? Sige. Ingat.